Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Oi Let's Talk podcast. Today we are doing a rogue episode. It's a little bit random, but I think it's kind of an important topic to talk about, and especially for those that are deep in a personal development journey at the moment, or people that are just kind of wanting to set the standard in their life and go after what they want.
And people that want change. It
Yes.
starts not just with changing your career, but changing your thoughts.
100%.
Yeah.
And as my tattoo on my arm says, master your mind, master your life. And seriously, it's such an important topic, and it's something that I guess both of us would have conversations around with our clients, our friends, our family, all of the time.
Yeah.
So let's start it off, because I posted a funny thing to Instagram the other day about my boyfriend, bless his soul, and about manifestation / positive self-talk / doing affirmations.
Yeah.
And I got a massive response on that actually about how I spend my morning. So obviously we know my extensive morning routine now, which we're not going to go because that could take up 40 minutes of an episode, right?
Yeah.
But intertwined in my morning routine, I always drive to my first destination, which is usually about a 10 to 15 minute drive every morning, in my first destination in silence. Because I feel like, especially being in the work that we both do, we're constantly surrounded by noise. Even if you're not in the online space at all, right?
Yeah.
9 to 5, you're going to office, you're talking to people, you're talking to your friends, everything, constantly surrounded by noise. So I really enjoy driving that first drive in silence. And that is where I do my positive affirmations. And what I posted the other day was Armand in the car.
Yeah.
First trialing this positive affirmations. He got all the way from our house to St Kilda and then realized he left his phone at home.
So sad.
And he was like, he literally got home from work. He's like, fuck your positive affirmations, man. Like that fucked me up for the whole day. But it really, really works, because if you learn to master the power of your mind, you can quite literally, and I know this is like big dick energy, change your whole fucking life.
Yeah, I am a big believer in that. We haven't spoken about this before that extensively, but I think it has just been a known thing that we both kind of do.
I think I'm a bit more like spiritual and witchy and woo-woo compared to you.
Yeah, potentially. I know that you've gone down the whole energetics path and things like that, and I find it super interesting, but it's just not something I've delved in.
Yeah.
But I've definitely delved in that if you're stuck in a rut, think about ways that you can look at the positives in a situation.
Yeah.
And I think I've been around people before, whether that be in an office or in a gym environment, and I'm kind of a bit of an observer.
Yeah.
So if I find that someone's energy is quite low, sometimes
you absorb that,
right? That. So I pay a lot of attention to the energy of people that I have around me and who I give access to.
Yeah.
But I've also found just reoccurring themes of if somebody is kind of speaking about everything that's obviously, I will just give a bit of a caveat to this. If you're going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad day.
Whenever you say that word, caveat. I'm like, that's really hot. I don't know why. It's a really good word.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I just wanted to add in a caveat, because we can say be positive, but sometimes you just want to be sad. That's also okay.
Totally okay.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actively choosing to try to see the bright side of a situation, because it will help you grow and also get through it a lot better. So an example would be if something really shit happens at, say, someone's not nice to you, whatever. I try to think, that's probably not on me, unless I was an asshole, but I don't think I was. It's probably them having a bad day.
Yeah.
I try to think, if something isn't going to plan, what's plan B?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like pivoting your thought process to try to find a positive or a way to shift your point of view, so it doesn't just keep going in a circle of shit things happen to me.
It's law of attraction,
100%.
right? Like attracts like.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly in more of a quote unquote negative mind frame, I can guarantee you in the morning you're going to wake up, you're going to crash your car. Hopefully not, touch wood. You're going to crash your car, you're going to spill your coffee, you're going to have an argument with someone. Someone's going to be fucking rude to you at the coffee shop where you buy your morning coffee when they're usually not like that. You're going to start to notice the negative thought patterns and the negative things that are happening to you because you're so hyper fixated on the negatives, right? Yeah. So when you're in that mindset and you're literally like focusing on the negatives, you're almost picking them out of your day to day, which then causes you to fall more into a spiral of negative energy, we say, quote unquote.
And then you feel stuck.
And then you feel stuck. And it is really hard. And exactly like what you said, I'm a very big believer in like, if I'm sad, I'm feeling my fucking emotions.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in that wallow. Give me half an hour to cry. Give me half an hour to feel fucking shit.
Yeah.
But I am also very much in tune with my body and my mind. And I know 100%, if I'm feeling shit, give me those moments. Give me 40 minutes and I'm the most positive person again.
Yeah.
Because I don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
When you find yourself dwelling on that, it's really hard for you to dissolve anything or move through anything.
Yeah.
So I'm a very big believer, master your mind, master your life. And you have the opportunity to absolutely fully send it in any aspect of your life if you can see the long-term vision.
Yeah, and I think that this doesn't have to be massive things either.
No.
It can just be auditing your day and thinking what went right and focusing on that, and that gratitude that comes from that makes you more likely to appreciate things more. Which
the gratitude.
The gratitude component is what's spirals, but in a good way. You're grateful for that thing, then you appreciate the little things a little bit more, then you start to have a more positive disposition, so you start to attract people who want to be around that energy. All of that is linked, and I've seen it with people who are stuck in that negative mindset, and it's hard to try to convince people. It might sound like funny or just like a throwaway thing, but honestly try to look at the lights, like the brighter side of things, or at least at the end of the day, just find 2 things in your day that went right.
Start with gratitude.
Yeah.
When anyone ever comes to me and they're like finding themselves in this negative energy spiral or only having bad shit happen to them, I always say to them to start with journaling and start with finding 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for in that day. It can be the most basic fucking shit. I'm grateful that I have a full tank of petrol in my car.
I'm grateful that somebody gave me a cookie on top of my coffee.
Literally can be the most basic thing, but it almost pulls you out of realizing that not everything has to be massive in your world.
Yeah.
So if you're finding that you're stuck, just start with basic gratitude, because the more grateful you are, because unfortunately us as a society, savage, I'm going in savage again, we are the most unfucking grateful people about everything. And I'm sometimes like that too. I'm a constant person that always wants more.
Next?
What more can I do? How can I do X, Y, and Z? I want to do this bigger and better and help more people and all this shit. But it's like, if you're actually just grateful for where you are and what you have, anything that is added on top of that is just a bonus.
Yeah.
And then you'll find yourself that you will be in that like attract like. You will be in that more positive energy, that more positive mind frame to actually make change and go after the things you want in life.
And I was also just going to add to that when you are more grateful for what you have, and when you are able to master the mindset of looking at the bright side, looking at a growth opportunity rather than a failure, I think you become a lot more resilient to when shit doesn't go to plan.
100%.
Rather than it being the end of the world. Like if something goes wrong in business, if something goes wrong at work, if you are able to just take a moment to audit, okay, this is what happened, this is the why, what good could have come out of a different method, you know what I'm saying? I think that it gives you another tool to actually tackle issues and come out the other side in a better place.
100%. Building resilience.
Yeah.
100%. And I also think this is like a quote that I kind of like to live by. You are responsible for setting the standard in your life.
Yeah.
Whatever you tolerate, whatever you are choosing not to change is 107,000 million% you and your responsibility.
Yeah.
So I think if you're a person that's constantly stuck in that negative mind frame or constantly, wanting more out of your life, but you don't know where to go, is start looking at the standards that you're setting for your own life and what you're allowing into your life as well, right? But if you're in like a toxic workplace, for example, and obviously I know that you can't just like quit your job and fuck off all the time, but start to set more of a standard. Maybe it is having that conversation with your boss. Maybe it is having that conversation with someone who is not being the nicest person to you. Maybe it is implementing more boundaries in your friendships, in your work, whatever it is. But you are always able to set a standard and improve on that whenever you feel.
Absolutely. I actually had a conversation with a client recently, absolute angel. She's just having a shit time at work. And that is leaking into other elements of her life.
Of course.
Because she's stressed about that. And I just went back to the fact that it is how long you're at work every day, whether that's 40 hours. Is that 40 hours of the experience you might be getting in that role worth the stress and mental health impact that it's having on you? No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to go after better. Don't be afraid to try other opportunities because not all workplaces in this example are like that. And you deserve to feel, you know, heard in a workplace, to feel like you're
safe,
being valued, and not to feel a mental burden of not looking forward to it, because that is going to impact your sleep. It's going to impact whether everything, your mood, your relationships, and it's honestly never worth it. So I am a big advocate for the fact that you're not a tree, you're not stuck. We can move forward.
You're not a tree. That is the best thing ever.
You're not stuck, because I know what that feels like to be like, like this is it for now. No, it's not. You can make a move. You can try. You can, you know, create another friendship.
You set the standard.
Learn a new thing. You can go after more for yourself. And I think that it's really important to, whenever you do feel stuck, just check in with yourself and think, what could I do differently?
Yeah.
How can I be grateful?
Where can I implement boundaries? Where can I, you know, call forth other people around me to work to a higher standard or to set themselves up for a higher standard, right? So like if you're looking at your friendships, for example, and you are on a health and fitness journey and all of your friends are still partying every weekend and getting smashed Thursday through to fucking Sunday, and that's no longer aligning with you, it's like, okay, cool, you need to set that boundary that you're no longer going to go, or start finding new friendships that are held at the same standard that you are holding yourself and where you want to go in your life or what you want to do. And it's the same thing with workplaces, right? Like if you fucking hate your life, we're probably the worst people to talk to about this, because we've both hated our life in a workplace, quit, and now doing what we're doing. But it's like, if you hate it, you can always change it.
Yeah. And I think that people think that it's not that easy. And I'm going to bring in, there's a level of privilege to being able to do that.
100%.
You know, it's not like we have 5 kids and we need to focus on
We are
all
well
of that.
aware of that.
We're aware of that. But that still doesn't negate the fact that if we didn't change what we were doing, we would have still been there. Like, we made that decision. And other people listening to this can also make that decision if they really want it. Yeah. So that's the point I'm trying to get across. Yes, there's a certain level of privilege with being able to start your own business and all of that. But other than that, like, again, you're not stuck. You have options. And if you lead into the abundance mindset of thinking there's so many different options out there for you, it's only going to expand what is possible for you. Yeah.
I literally posted a thread, because that's a new thing. We're threaders now. Yeah. I posted a thread this morning being like, take risks. Yeah. Stop worrying about what could go wrong and start leaning into, what if this all works out? Yeah. That was my literal turning point when I decided to start my own business. Working as a nutritionist in a healthcare clinic, fucking hated it, was micromanaged, just felt like I was banging my head against a brick wall. Yeah. I was working with people with so many different illnesses, so many different diseases, and I just felt like, I can't do this forever. And I remember sitting in that office, I would have been like, 21, 22 maybe? I can't remember exactly. However many 6 years ago was, and I'm 27 now. You guys do the maths. I'm not good at maths. And I remember sitting there thinking, take a fucking risk, bitch. Like, yeah, cool, it might not work out, but also, what if it does? Yeah. Then I can have a life of X, Y, and Z. I can record a fucking podcast with my best friend on a bloody Friday afternoon. Yeah. Like, that was more appealing to me, and me being able to lean into that risk and pull myself to a higher standard in my life changed my whole trajectory of where I was going, what I was doing, the relationships I have, and everything else that comes in between.
100%. And I also think that the gratitude that we spoke about has made taking risks feel more safe. Yeah. Because I'll try to find the statistic, but there's a statistic around the fact that we spend, I'm just going to a random close amount. I think it was, we spend X amount of hours thinking about what could go wrong in so many situations, but that doesn't marry up with the actual stat of the 20% of the time it actually goes wrong. So we spend so much time
putting yourself through a state of stress twice.
Going through telling yourself that it's going to be shit before you've actually given it a shot. So if you realize that you're psyching yourself out before you even get started, and you try to change yourself or stop yourself from doing that, you're more likely to actually start making those moves, because you'll think about what could actually go right. All of the if it doesn't go right, what can I learn from this? What could I use that learning opportunity to then leverage something better that's going to go right? So I think that being grateful, looking at things from a point of view of a learning curve, it makes me a lot less afraid to put things out there now, because I think that if I do something that isn't right and someone educates me, cool, I've learned something new, versus I used to be more of a scared, I'm just going to use showing up on social media as an example, but I used to be more afraid of posting the wrong thing, etc., etc. But now I think if I post the wrong thing and I've learned something from it, that's fine, which is a good way to kind of allow you to keep moving forward. And the takeaway that I want people to have from this is that you can keep moving forward if you
fail,
if you challenge
challenge
yourself to think in that way. The fact that there are options, that there are new things that you deserve to have new opportunities and not be stagnant.
Yeah. And also deepen your levels of self-trust. When I started to focus on deepening my levels of self-trust and actually backing myself, even if it was absolutely delulu, like if it was, like I'm a delusional bitch, like 9 times out of 10, right? Like I've got big fucking goals and dreams, and like to the average person, I sound like I'm actually on crack, right? But even if they're delusional, I'm backing myself
100%.
Because I know at the end of the day, I am my safest investment, right?
Yeah.
I am the one that's going to make X, Y, and Z work out. It's not up to anyone else.
Yeah.
No one else gives a fuck.
Also, I'm not taking advice from someone who's not in the arena.
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to say that you can't do anything, I want to see you take risks before you start. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like it's all outside noise, and I want other people to try to think of that as well, because I know if someone's in the gym or they're getting into fitness and if someone makes little comments, like who cares? They're not doing what you're doing. They're not walking the path that you're on. Just focus forward on what you can do, and things will work out a lot better than when you allow that basically background noise to seep in.
100%. And start backing yourselves.
Yeah, that backing yourself and the confidence that you have in yourself, other people read and they feel confident in you. If I show up in my business and I don't talk about my client successes and I don't talk about being a good coach and I don't believe that, why should I think that someone should invest in me? I think that I'm a good coach and I'm proud of what I offer and I'm proud of what you offer, and that comes down to the fact that we deliver and that we have good client experiences. It's actually just backing yourself and showing other people that they can back you as well.
100%. And it's not really about, in my opinion, about your ego or anything like that, because when I look at like an ego, right, it's just there to keep you safe.
Yeah.
It's like your ego is telling you to play small, telling you to not take risks, telling you to not do X, Y, and Z in case you're vulnerable and it fails and like whatever, all the bad things happen to you. But if you can actually just start backing yourself into things and knowing that, okay, it's actually no one else's responsibility but for me to make this work. So if it does fail, I'm going to use that as data collection. All of my clients are going to laugh at me for saying that because they're always like, you always say fucking data collection. But I'm going to use, it's true.
You're collating what didn't work and how you can improve.
And I'm going to use that as data collection, and then I'm going to do it bigger and better next time.
Yeah.
And I know that even if it doesn't work out the way that I assumed or preempted that it would, it's okay. It doesn't mean that it's a failure, because the only time you fail is when you fucking stop.
And I think a lot of people stop themselves from even giving things a crack to start with because they are so
preempting.
But also they're afraid of a bruised ego. They're afraid of it not landing. They're afraid of it not doing as well as they expected. But you have to put in the work and you have to actually see what sticks before you know how you can do it better. So we've said this before, but you've got to go through the shit until you can come out better. So you playing small and being afraid to show up and being afraid that, you know, people are going to see you or anything or judge you, like you're not backing yourself, your business, and you're not allowing yourself to take risks to get better.
Yeah. And you're also not trusting yourself. So how do other people trust you, right? Like,
the relationship with you have with yourself is the most important relationship you ever have. Sitting at home by myself and just being at peace in my own company is something that I love. And personal development and paying for courses and all of that stuff I did a lot more when I started my Cert 3 and 4.
Yeah.
All of that was just me backing myself and me wanting to be better.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think Yeah, if you're on like a bit of a personal development journey or you're wanting to learn how to back yourself, start with deepening your levels of self-trust. Start trusting that you can make whatever life you want work out for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, it's a breeze. It's fucking
absolutely
hard.
Not.
We're still tried and tested all the fucking
100%.
time. I still have the fear of failure every now and then.
Yeah.
However, the difference between me when I started versus me now is if I feel like I'm going to fail at something, I don't let it stop me from still doing the fucking thing, right? Like I'm still going to do it and I'm still going to dissolve it and work through it 10 times quicker. So if you're listening today, I guess the preface of this whole conversation was just to kind of reiterate that if you want something bigger and better in your life, if you're wanting to start a new career or end a shitty fucking relationship or break up with a shit friend, you set the standard in your life, and you being able to change things or fix things or whatever starts with you. So
you're in control.
You're 100% in control, and you can do anything you put your fucking mind to. End of story. Take it or leave it. No, but seriously, that's kind of wrapping up the episode today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As per usual, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. If you like us,
please
like
share,
this, please
comment,
share,
engage. It really helps us get
all the
things. Get the voice out there.
Yeah, and we also love it when you guys ask us questions for our Q&A. It makes us really excited and really happy. So thank you so much for today, and we will see you very soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.